The Panama Papers is an investigative project based on a massive document leak from a law firm based in Panama called Mossack Fonseca. More than 11 million files from this law firm were leaked to a German newspaper, which then reached out to the Washington, D.C.-based International Consortium of Investigative Journalists, ICIJ, for help investigating and publishing the data in those documents. Mossack Fonseca is one of the 5 biggest incorporators of offshore companies in the world, with offices in more than 35 locations globally, including the British Virgin Islands, Hong Kong, and the UK. They work with some of the world's wealthiest individuals and several international government leaders, some of whom use offshore front companies to hide assets and avoid regulations in their own countries. Last fall, I got an email from the online editor at ICIJ, Hamish Boland-Rutter. He'd been following my work for other investigative news outlets like ProPublica and the Center for Investigative Reporting. For the past few years, I've been producing illustrated documentaries and animated shorts that translate complicated investigations into video stories tailored to a web-based audience. Hamish wanted to do something similar for the Panama Papers. It's such a huge, sprawling, complex project that he wanted to boil it down into a simple explanatory video that would function as a kind of trailer or introduction to the project. The Pulitzer Center on Crisis Reporting provided funding for the video. So Hamish and I worked with reporter Will Fitzgibbon at ICIJ to write a script that would summarize the project, but also something that would break through the jargon and legalese to show how real people are affected by high-level tax avoidance and money laundering. We discussed several possible scenes in which the testimony of real people would be heard, and finally settled on a scene in Russia and another in Uganda. We worked with the BBC to track down voice actors and recorded the narration. Then I sat down to edit the audio track. These projects are usually audio-driven, and woven music and sound effects to bring to life. Once the audio is complete, it's time for the visual layer. I brought in Arthur Jones, an animation artist I've been working with for several years, who developed a wonderful visual landscape for the piece. I think one of Arthur's special talents is the ability to translate complex concepts into illustration and motion that is both beautiful and clear. Sometimes it's easier to understand something abstract when you see it laid out clearly in graphics. And the web is such a sensory platform, I think the visuals and audio together really bring the issue to life. We're all thrilled with how the video turned out, and apparently viewers are too. It had almost 1 million views within the first 24 hours on YouTube.